Have you ever looked at your life and realized nothing actually died? But why does this hurt so much? And I think that's the strangest things adulthood just taught me. Sometimes you grieve people, and sometimes you grieve places, and sometimes you grieve versions of yourself that are technically still alive, but they just never got to exist. And I think nobody has ever warned me that grief could actually look like that. As I'm sitting here speaking to you, I am currently working as a nanny slash maid. Let's just pause right there. Because I had never ever imagined myself working such a job. Not because I think the job is bad or I think I'm above it or it's beneath me. No, but because I had never imagined myself doing this job. I had never imagined it for me. Months ago, I was at home, unemployed, and I went from praying for a job to praying for any job. When I got that any job was praying so hard for, I realized something that no, this is not what I thought I'd become. This is not a version of me in the near future I had in my head all these years. Along with that came overwhelming element of grief. I realized that I was grieving. I was grieving the past, I was grieving the present, and I was grieving the future. And I was not grieving the past because it was better. But sometimes even difficult chapters, they become familiar. So learn something, I think that's very profound. I learned that sometimes we don't grieve what happened, but we grieve what never happened. Because now, as I was enveloped with grief, every day I was grieving, every day I was breaking down silently. Some days it was louder, and some days it was just like downright, raw and horrible and just excruciating. I realized that I was also grieving memories I had imagined. I was grieving the career I thought I'd already have by now, and I was grieving the birthdays I thought I'd celebrate. I was grieving the apartment I thought I'd be obsessing over at 2 a.m. and redecorating every day. I was grieving the version of myself that I thought I would have already met and know by now. Which was so strange and just so overwhelming and heavy for me. I realized that grief isn't about losing something necessarily, but sometimes grief is simply the gap between the life you imagined and also the life that's asking you to become someone else. And that is what I'm currently at war with, because I look at my life, what currently is and what I had always imagined. I just think of all these years of schooling, all these years of planning, all these years of improving, all these years of writing the story within that grief of past, present, and the future. One thing I also learned was that my brain had certainty. My brain had certainty, and there's just something so comforting about knowing your assignment. And then when I lost that certainty, and then my brain felt like it lost its assignment, it was just an identity shift. Now I had to reorganize identity. And there's just something weird about reorganizing identity, and that's where the grief just creeps in, because now I felt like I was losing gravity. Because as I was reorganizing my identity from being unemployed to living home and then feeling disorientated and being in a new city, even though I've always wanted to move to this city. It's like, because it happened so fast, I did not have time to actually rehearse the life I'm going to live in this city. So I'm a planner. So the planner in me was robbed of that opportunity to rehearse and do everything in my head first before I can actually live it in reality. There was still grief. There was still grief, not because I wanted to stay home, not because it was nice staying at home, because it wasn't nice. It was a difficult chapter of my life because I was unemployed and I could not do anything. And now, but when I finally moved, it was as though I was robbed of something. And within that space of realizing, and within that gap and space, grief came along. But within all that process and realization and lessons learned and revelations, I think I learned that, maybe healing isn't finally finding the life we had always imagined, for yourself. I'm not saying you should give up on that, but maybe healing is actually making peace with what currently is, with the life you are living now, long enough to build something meaningful and beautiful, from here. I think that's what I kind of took from all this transition, and the death of expectations and possibilities and transitions and identities and everything, all that shift, that maybe saying, okay, this is where I am right now, this is what I am grappling with, and finally making peace with that, that's the healing. I think that's where the healing starts, with making peace with what currently is, and just finally stopping the argument with reality and the constant fighting against what currently is, and just accepting the phase and the season, because it is the season. And secondly, I learned that adulthood isn't about learning how to live and how to be a better human being in society, but also adult is learning how to grieve with open hands, how to grieve with open hands, how to make space for other things while you're grieving for things that never actually came to pass, the dreams or the ideas or whatever you had planned for your life that hasn't come to pass yet. I think that's where I'm at right now, mentally. And also what I've learned, through this experience, through this transition, through this grieving of dead expectations and identities and shifts, and also the interrupted possibilities and the interrupted stories I had written for my life and my future. Here's a quote I love. It says, "If you must look back, do so forgivingly, and if you must look forward, do so hopefully." So yeah, that's the video for today. So I did not even greet you guys. Hi my lovelies. Hi my lovelies, and welcome back to my glow up journey using what I have. So the last time I posted a video, I was at home, because you might be wondering, where is this girl? What is she talking about? And what is this all background now? So yes, I moved to Johannesburg last month on the 6th of June. Yes, and I got here on the 7th of June. It was on a Sunday. Everything has happened so fast. I did not have time to plan, did not have time to rehearse everything in my head. I did not have time to do anything. One moment I was at home, Friday evening, my phone rings. It's my little brother, and he's telling me about this you need to get on WhatsApp right now because this is something that you've always wanted. And I was like, wait, this isn't the $2 billion I've been wanting? And apparently it was this job. So I'm in a new city, I'm in a new environment. I've had new living arrangements, and along came everything, the confusion, the disorientation, the grief that I've been yapping about in this video, and everything in between. And when I tell you it has not been easy, okay? Because Jesus, I don't even want to get into the because if I do, I could spend 5 hours. So I don't want to do that. But yeah, I have missed talking to my soul jazz so much, you guys, and I promise you I'm going to come back. But I just wanted to drop this video right now because it has been nagging me. It has been just nagging me of like, I had this nagging feeling that I want to record this video, and I've recorded this video, and I'm so proud of me for finally recording this video, because I've been struggling to come back to my creative brain. It's like my creative bandwidth was just like lost its compass. Okay, so I am glad that I'm finally back in a better place now, and I can finally, sit in front of the camera and talk to you guys and just yep, because that's what I do best. I yep. And also, yeah, I think it's not easy. Fashion videos are still coming and on the pipeline, and yes, they are coming. I'm still trying to get my ducks on a row, because I've heard all this transition, new city, new living arrangements, there was so much disorientation that came along with that, which is something I'm still, but I think I'm in a very better place. The fact that I'm sitting here and yapping, on camera about it means I'm in a very better place mentally. So yeah, I think I'm kind of back. I'm so happy to be back on my channel, and because I was starting to panic, I was panicking. In fact, I was panicking from the day I got here, because I was like, okay, new city, Jersey. But like, it was when I realized that, okay, I moved to this city, but like, not on my own terms, basically. Because now it meant like, I can't, well, guys, I can talk until 12 a.m., but yeah, I'm back, lovelies, and I hope you show me some love and we talk in the comments, and you like the video and you subscribe if you find this video. If you made it this far on the video, surely you are subscribed by now, because why not? Subscribe to the video and share, comment, like, and do all the good things, okay? And we are growing. Oh my goodness, I can't believe, because I have not posted for 2 months? Is it 2 months? I don't know, but it's over a month since I have posted something, which is another thing that I'm literally dying inwardly about. But I'm gonna keep my cool. That's the video, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. And I think by next week I'll be posting more often. I'll try. I'll be posting more often, I think. Yeah. So, ciao.